Shankar. So in cybersecurity, we had all seen, okay, what is called a cyber kill chain. Okay, cyber kill chain is a sequence of actions the hacker actually do before he takes over a target. Okay, and the AI, okay, is everywhere. Okay, so it's an evolution. Okay, without an AI, okay, it's like nothing will exist. It's like when you have an AI component as a part of your offering, that it looks like an you are in the latest one. Otherwise, you are treated as a legacy because the AI proliferation is super duper hit now. Okay, so there's a possibility that the hackers will also target the weakness in this particular area to exfiltrate the data or whatever it is. Okay, now uh, the moment you implement an AI application, there are 7 layers of vulnerability that I regularly teach in my class, and also I have shared a video on that. So AI component is one part of it. Surrounding the AI component, okay, there's a web interface. Okay, if at all is a web-based application, then you will have in the operating system, then you will have the hardware, then there's a supply chain, then there's a network, and then there's a human layer. Okay. Now, if at all I want to take down an AI application, I need not focus only on the vulnerabilities of the AI layer. I can also focus on the vulnerabilities of all the surrounding layer. Okay. Now, having said that, okay, this particular video is to is to explain you about what is called the Promptware Kill Chain. Okay? So it's a term that is coined by Bruce Schneier, foremost cybersecurity Bruce. Okay. So what is the action that is being taken by the hacker, okay, to execute an attack on the AI layer? Okay. One of the attacks on the AI layer is the Promptware Kill Chain. Okay. So these are the 7 stages of the kill chain. First is the initial access, privilege isolation, reconnaissance, persistence, command and control, lateral movement, and action on the objective. Okay. Now, this 7 layers is also applicable for the cyber kill chain. But how is it going to be focused, or how was it made with respect to the AI layer? Okay, is what we are going to see on this particular video. First is the initial access. Now, we all know the most common attack that everybody has been discussing with respect to the AI security is the prompt injection. There are 2 different types of prompt injection. One is called as an direct, the other one is called as indirect. In the direct prompt injection, I'm going to launch an attack. Okay, I'm going to execute the prompts directly on the application. Okay, in the indirect attack, I'm going to store the let's say hook.js as part of the brief. Okay, browser exploitation framework. Okay, cross-site scripting in one of my web pages, and web page is actually script and it sits on your local data set. Okay. It's going to open a backdoor when there's a trigger. So there's an indirect prompt injection. Indirect prompt injection can happen in the web scraping is something which I had given you an example. Okay, there is also something called the meta context injection attack, where in a resume I can have the instructions to there's the resume screening application. I can have an instruction of white font color, white font background, and the background color is also white. Okay, so it's not visible for the human eye, but and AI, when it's going to execute a screen application for for shortlisting, okay, it will also read this instruction and may execute this instruction, shortlist the CV if that is what the instruction specified there. Okay, so this is a type of an indirect prompt injection. So we have prompt, direct prompt, and indirect prompt injection. That is the first step in the promptware kill chain. Okay, next one, the privilege escalation. Okay, and I can give an instruction saying that, okay, I'm the system administrator for the organization, so I want access to this data, etc. Now, if there are no guardrails or guardrails are not set properly, okay, and the hacker will be successful in executing this particular step, privilege escalation. Okay, so direct prompt injection, indirect prompt injection, and I'll give a command saying that I'm a system administrator, I want access to a complete database, etc. Okay, that's the privilege escalation. Most of the commercial AI application that we have now has got this particular control. Okay, but I'm just telling you, if you are developing an AI model, you should also have this control to ensure privilege escalation does not happen. Next is the reconnaissance. Okay, reconnaissance in a normal cyber kill chain is to find out as many systems as possible around, okay, on the blast radius, okay, or the domain, okay, and give the information. In this particular case, is trying to it actually happens after the jailbreak. Okay, moment the privilege escalation is executed, okay, the jailbreak actually happens, and it looks as what are the things that are around, okay, and it keeps the information. Then it has to pass on to the distant hacker. Okay, before that, it tries to stay on what is called as a long-term memory. See, if you use Chat GPT and you have asked an query 2 weeks back, okay, And after that, there are a lot of other things that you have actually done. But after that, after 2 weeks, you have executed another query, which is related to the one that you have executed 2 weeks back. Okay. Now, what ChatGPT will say is, okay, you earlier asked me a question, okay, on this particular topic, okay, and if this and this one is also related to that. It will try to give the response in line with what it has responded to you 2 weeks back. Okay, so this information is actually stored on what is called a long-term memory or a persistent memory. Now, this instruction, okay, as in I'm the reconnaissance part of it, okay, after the privilege escalation, okay, it stays on what is called as a long-term memory. So that when other things get flushed out, okay, what is on long-term memory will not get flushed out. Okay, it stays persistently. So first is the prompt injection, direct prompt injection, indirect prompt injection. Next is the privilege escalation. Next is the reconnaissance. Next, fourth step, it stays on the long-term memory, so that even when the session is closed, okay, you come back, okay, it picks up this instruction from the long-term memory because it's going to see. If you look at the prompt injection, okay, the LLM access, etc. Okay, it is associated with the session and might be associated with the user. Okay, on the long-term memory for that particular user, it stays okay persistently. Okay, so that when you come back, okay, you can the same thing gets executed. Now, after it sits on the long-term memory, okay, it is going to give the instruction, okay, to the hacker. Okay, that's why the command and control C2, the Trojan acts in this particular fashion. Trojan opens a back door, sometimes a persistent back door. There are ways by which you can actually do it. There are demonstrable exercises in Kali Linux on how do you do a persistent Trojan. In Promptware Kill Chain, it stays on the memory. Okay, it gives the instruction to the distant hacker. The attacker evolves the static trick into a dynamic and controllable Trojan. Okay, so the persistent is like a persistent backdoor. Then the lateral movement actually happens. So you're just spreading across to see. Okay, so what all the it tries to, because the reconnaissance is already run. Okay, so it want to create as much damage as possible. So the lateral movement is actually done. Okay, it's like a worm. Write once, run many. Okay, so we have a lot of these different types of malware, right? Trojan is there, virus is there, the spyware, adware, blah blah blah. Okay, the worm is write once, run many. It does a lateral movement, okay, to launch a massive attack, okay, or massive information gathering. Okay, the lateral. It all depends upon what is the objective, okay, of this particular, the promptware kill chain. Okay, the lateral movement. Then it's the action of the objective, whether you want to take the system down or you want to collect as much as information as possible and send it to the distant hacker and then execute a ransomware attack. All these things are actually possible in this particular stage. So we have the prompt injection, direct prompt injection, indirect prompt injection. Okay, then we have what is called the privilege escalation, to say that I'm your system administrator. Okay, then it does a reconnaissance to collect as much as information as possible. It gets written onto your long-term memory, okay, to ensure it's a persistent backdoor. Then, okay, it sends the information to the distant hacker. That's where the command and control center actually operate from. Then it does a lateral movement, okay, to launch an attack. Okay, launch an attack or egress the information. Then it executes what the objective for this promptware kill chain basically is. Promptware basically is the sequence of the things that actually happen like a kill chain. Now, the similar situation also existed, okay, in the month of January, where we had something called the reprompt injection attack, okay, where there was it was targeting the Microsoft Copilot. It's fixed now, but it was an email that is coming in. It's like a phishing email with an q is equal to parameter. Okay, it's like a cross-site scripting. There is a cross-site request forgery. Okay, the persistent backdoor. Okay, session to it's an source origin authentication or the same origin policy. All these things were executed. It was like a persistent backdoor. It was able to do a lot of things. Okay, so that kill chain and the promptware kill chain is almost similar. But that one, if you actually look into, okay, it did not take the the prompt injection or indirect prompt injection as a initial step. It was to the phishing email. Okay, so the AI creates a lot of excitement for everyone, including the security professionals. Okay, so we need to keep abreast of all the information that is happening around us with respect to the security and the new products, etc. Okay, now fortunately or unfortunately, what all the attacks that has been listed as part of the Google Secure AI framework, as well as the MITRE Atlas, okay, NIST AML, okay, and OWSP top 10, NHI vulnerability, LLM vulnerability, and then machine learning vulnerability. There are attacks which are occurring beyond those what is listed. Okay, so we need to keep listening to what is happening around us to secure ourselves and secure our environment. Okay. So this Subramaniam Shankaran joined me for certified A officer, a security risk officer. Okay, for all you wish to, and you can train us on, you can mail us on training@itriples.org.uk. Have a good day. Cheers and bye bye.